and the ting goes scrat with a pum pum pum. It's the Richard Lewis Show. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. Joining me as he always does is my producer, Sam. How you doing, Sam? Did you like that intro?
Yeah, good, man. Pum pum ting.
Did it for you? Just sounded like it, didn't it? Could have been there. Could have been with Charlie Sloth in the booth. You
Fire in the booth.
Brap!
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, please stop it, Charlie. Man. Please stop it. Broken glass.
Perfect. Fucking hell, Charlie.
Just calm the fuck down, Charlie. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, we gotta love it. Gotta love it. So look, I haven't done a fucking show for ages. We haven't, have we? Because I've been busy as a motherfucker. It's been beyond belief. The TV world, the content world. So yeah, apologies for that, I suppose. Although it's my fault in a way. I
got jobs.
Yeah, I do. I do drink on my day off, and that spills over into the next day because I drink heavily because it's my day off. So yeah, so that's on me because I'm getting old. I just need to quit drinking. I think if I do that, I can fit in an extra show or two a week, and then I'll just work myself to death instead of drinking myself to death. That's what we all want, right?
Then you just hate yourself more.
And yeah, by the numbers will be coming up after this show, so stick around if you want to watch that. Look, so it's another one of those shows kind of cobbled it together at the last minute. Some people say they're the best. I don't know. I like a bit of structure and cohesion to mine. But here's what I'm going to start by talking about, Sam. The film Don't Breathe, mate.
Have you? No.
Yeah. Well, right. Okay. So here's the thing. Last year, it's not even new. It didn't come out this year or nothing. It came out last year. And Don't Breathe is when we had the hurricane and it was all fucking atmospheric and that. I said to Maria, my housemate, why don't we watch a horror movie? Wind battering, storms outside, rain, turn out all the lights and watch a horror movie, right? So I was looking through all of these lists. Now I've been burnt before with horror movie lists, right? Because the fucking Babadook is a fucking disgrace. It is so bad, and yet, William Friedkin, legendary director of The Exorcist, all these other guys, they've all come out and said it's amazing, and it's a really good premise. By the way, there's total fucking spoilers here. I do not respect spoiler culture. If anybody says spoiler, just fuck off. I mean, you're an idiot.
As if you're watching for. I only watch for the surprise. I want to be surprised.
It's not even that. It's just the idea. What annoys me about spoiler culture is what the whole fucking world has to grind to a halt just on the off chance you maybe see something. Come on, be fucking real. You know what I mean?
The max I give people is a day. I'll give you a day where I won't openly say things, but after a day, you can just suck all the knobs.
Yeah, exactly. Straight suck all the knobs. Yeah. So anyway, so hang on, where the fuck was I going with this? Yeah, so right, so the Babadook, right? The Babadook was fucking garbage. It's basically about it starts really good premise, right? This woman's got a really annoying kid, full on the spectrum. He's just being a
looks creepy, but that's cool.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing; it does look creepy, right? So the kid's acting up all the time. And she literally hates the kid. She's a fucking witch. Being straight real about it, right? There's no fucking man in the relationship. The father died, I think, or something in a car accident, if I remember rightly. And she's really struggling with the fucking kid. And he is a pure cunt, the kid. There's no getting away from it. He did my fucking Sweden, mate. I was watching it. I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm going to struggle to get through this. I hope it ends in the next 5 minutes with her just putting a pillow over his face. He was rough. He was rough, mate. So anyway, the whole point is it's about that sort of maternal, look, here's the thing that parents never talk about. Having a kid is fucking hard. And sometimes you don't want to because you love your kids, but you fucking hate your kids, I've heard this from a lot of parents when they've just reamed out, and they're going through the terrible twos or whatever, They learn the word me. Yeah, I was going to tell you all about this gay icon bullshit. Yeah, you figured it out for yourself. Yeah,
I thought this was a hidden Easter egg, mate.
No. The Babadook somehow became a gay icon. I don't even know.
I started seeing rainbow flies. I was hang a bang. what do you mean?
I was going to slip that in at the end, but it's all right. You've done a spoiler on me. Right? Anyway. a spoiler within a spoiler. So anyway, right? So she's shaking the kid and super angry with it, and she's really trying. She can't go on a date. She's getting mega frustrated. And then this kid starts talking about this thing called the fucking Babadook, right? Now the Babadook's going to come in the house, and she doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, right? And then this kid's book turns up with these drawings in about the Babadook, and now the Babadook's going to come in the house, and once you invite him in, you never get rid of him, So anyway, there's this book, right? Like which his page is fucking torn out and shit. And every time she throws the book away because she's getting scared because the fucking kid who's on the spectrum keeps talking about the Babadook, it keeps reappearing in the house.
And stop letting the motherfucking Babadook in the house.
Yeah, shut the door. The Babadook's getting in. Right? So anyway, at this point, it's really creepy because the premise for me, what could have made this a horror masterpiece, is the idea that the Babadook is a manifestation of her dark desire to commit infanticide. That would be fucking brilliant. And indeed, the film is framed that way, I'd say, for about half the movie. Then it turns out the Babadook is real, and the second half of the film is basically Nightmare on Elm Street with her and the kid fighting the Babadook. And it ends with one of the most depressing scenes probably in a horror movie of all time, and that is that the Babadook is chained up in a cellar being fed worms by her.
Why though?
Because they can't get rid of it, because once you invite it in, you never get rid of the Babadook. So I suppose on an allegorical level, you could say that represents her putting away her infanticide desire. But it doesn't work as an allegory because it's all presented as real. It's not in her mind, Everybody can see it. So the whole film is fucking lame. It ends lame. It peters out. It's fucking lame. So I got burnt once before, right? With horror lists. Babadook, best horror of 2014, So I was like, okay, I'm never going to get got again. But, I'm trying to keep up with horror movies. And I can only go on what the critics say. That's the problem, right? I don't know what's fucking going to be good and what isn't. I need an informed critic to tell me. So I went to some respected magazines. And there it was. Don't breathe. Don't breathe. It's brilliant. A master class of suspense. And I looked at the premise, right? And I was like, it's 3 people break into a house of a blind man to steal all his money.
Reasonable.
But it turns out the blind man is gangster as fuck.
Turns out he's Bruce Lee.
No, yeah, he's Bruce. I'm fucking hard Muhammad Lee, right? Like, he's...
Lee.
Yeah, right? He's got it all. And he turns the lights out, obviously, and he starts fucking them up one by one. I was like, all right, this might be good, actually. I can see how that
doesn't
tension.
sound good, shit.
No, hang on, though. But in the trailer, right, like it has him in the lights, and the blind man's creeping around. Yeah, because the blind man's got fucking... Yeah, he's got sonar, or something like
He's not Batfink, mate.
No, that's the whole point, mate. He is like Batfink. That's the premise of the movie. So I say to Maria, yeah, we should watch this, I put it on. Yeah. I put it on.
Should have watched Batfink, it's fine.
Yeah, no, Batfink was fucking brilliant. My wings are like a shield of steel. Anyway, so I said to Maria, you want to watch this then? She's like, yeah, all right. So we put it on. Now, the first problem this fucking piece of shit movie has is that the characters are the most unlikable motherfuckers of all time. Let me tell you who the cast is, right? So you got one guy who is actually just a straight street gangster piece of shit, whose idea it is to rob all these houses, and he's just thug life, cornrows, just fucking thugging it up to the max, pulling guns on people, just being a prick. So you're like, well, I don't like him. Then the other guy in the equation is some fucking mad beta cook who's like, because there's a girl in the group, obviously, and he's the connection because his dad's like the fucking real estate agent or police chief or someone, so he can get the keys to the houses that they rob. Weird how no one ever saw a connection, but whatever. And he just loves the bird who's in the group, and he's just like, yeah, I'll help you rob all these houses because you're so pretty or whatever. He's
Maybe
just
one day after all this crime, we can have sex.
Yeah, and he's always like straight, like, you know, she's straight hinting like, oh, you should come and run away with me. Like, so she's game as fuck, and he's going, I don't know.
Oh, grow up, man.
Yeah, yeah. Your friend zone yourself, motherfucker. You know what I mean? So anyway, and she, like, they try and make her, because neither of the guys are sympathetic. They're just fucking disposable assholes, you know? So then the main chick, who is indeed the protagonist of the movie, because the other two guys get killed off, is, you know, they try and make her likable because she's just living in a trailer park and wants to get away from it all. But it's just such a cliched, hackneyed thing. She tells like some bullshit story in the car at the start of the movie. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a ladybird tattooed on my wrist. And Cook Boy goes, why is that? And she goes, oh well, when my parents used to abuse me, they locked me in a car boot once, and a ladybird flew in through a gap, and it stayed on my wrist and told me I was gonna be safe. Like, come on,
What are you on about?
Yeah, what are you fucking on about?
Him in at the time.
Yeah, it just made me want to fucking like you now. No, I just think it's pathetic, isn't it? So anyway, they all go into the blind fella's gaff, and the plan is to basically gas him to sleep with some gas that Cornrows has got, and then they're gonna just rob him blind and find his secret stash.
Rob him blind. He's already blind, mate.
Yeah, rob him double blind. Right? So they get in, and what they find out is by looking at things in the house, right? I mean, this is after they just smash a window in. Like, oh, well, you know, his heightened senses. He's lying about.
Yeah, you could have just opened the door.
No, you couldn't. The key didn't work. That was the twist in it. Oh, and he's got a massive pit bull as well.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, it's a Rottweiler, I think. Sorry, my bad. Rottweiler. A big old boy, you know, just a needlessly aggressive dog, by the way. The kind you just know, the kind no one owns because they just die or kill you, you know. So anyway, they smash a window and they get in, and then they find by looking around the house, like, because obviously, you know, we can't just let you attach your own narrative because you're an audience and you're stupid, right? So, oh, his daughter died.
Oh,
his bloody daughter. Not his kids. So I'm like, all right, they're going to make the bad guy sort of sympathetic. Down for that. Well, that might be interesting. And these people are being super unreasonable by trying to rob him. Maybe the good guys are the bad guys. What a twist, said M. Night Shyamalan. But no. So anyway, the gas don't work. Blind guy gets
How does he just take it on the chin? Does he
I don't
just
know.
absorb it, or does it not hit him or something?
I don't know, because he was going biddy, biddy, biddy.
Because his bat radar deflected the gas away.
Yeah, I think he just pushed the...
My face is made of solid steel. You cannot gas my face.
Can't gas my face, mate. All right. Can't catch me, gay thoughts. So he fucking wakes up and he's like, who's there? And he's stood there with all the bug guys and that. And keep in mind, the guy who's playing the blind dude, he looks pretty menacing. Like, he's like a ripped Ron Perlman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, all right, this guy's got a bit of menace to him. He's doing some mad voice though. Like, he's like, blah, 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 like, makes Bane.
Into my lair.
Yeah, makes fucking Bane sound like Aled Jones, you know what I mean? But anyway, so he's fucking Welsh reference, not bad. Snowman, we've all had a cry. So anyway, they're doing this thing. Cornrows gets fucking mad triggered, tries to shoot him. Blind guy just fucking blows his brains out like immediately. Takes his gun off him, holds him in a chokehold, and then blows his brains out.
Sorry.
And before he dies, he goes, "That's just me, man. It's just me." So the other two are in the house. Anyway, turns out creaky floorboards, Rottweiler, it's a fucking nightmare, it's a shit show. Anyway, I won't bore you with all the minutia. Bottom line is, Cornrows is dead, Cook Boy gets it, but here's the fucking thing. They go into the basement while they're trying to run away from the blind guy, and this is when I was like, I'm fucking out. I am all the way out. All the way out of this movie. It's not even scary. Like, I mean, it's just so badly directed. Like, they have the moment where he turns the lights out, and you're like, oh, this is where it gets good. Nah, it's one scene, and it's shit. But anyway, so they go down into the basement and they find this woman tied up gagged in some sort of sordid sex dungeon. Because the blind guy couldn't just be redeemable and
why couldn't he just be reasonable?
Because they've got to make him evil for the film to work. Because he's killing people, he's bodying people. And even though they're trespassing on his territory and nobody in the world would have a problem with him, a blind man killing people to stop them robbing him, right? They're like, right, fuck, how do we make him evil? Sex dungeon. Sound. Like, come on. What mad
Maybe the
fucking...
Rottweiler did it. This guy's blind. How could he put a chain on?
Right?
He doesn't know what's happening.
So she's down in the basement. She's like, meow, 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 all fucking chained up. You're like, all right, what's going on here? Anyway, so basically, here's the thing. She was the driver who ran over his daughter and killed his daughter, and he kidnapped her and locked her in the basement. And then this is where it just goes fucking radio rentals, mate. It's out of control. Like, he's trying to impregnate her so she can give him a replacement for the child. So I was like, oh, so
sorry.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, there's a shootout. She gets clipped. The woman in the sex dungeon. I mean, she's had a great life. She's been down there for years. Can't conceive a fucking baby.
She had to deal with the guilt of murdering someone as well at the start.
Finally gets let out. Fucking hooray for Blindy. He's having a spray. You know what I mean? He's going boys in a hood, and he just takes a fucking dome off.
The gun on the side.
So anyway, he kidnaps the other woman, the protagonist of the movie, and locks her in the same said dungeon. And then you realise how he was trying to get the other one pregnant. And because he pulls out the turkey baster, and this is the madness. He's got a vat of jet of just shit. Oh, it's mental, mate.
A vat of jet.
It is unreal. He's just jetting in this liquid nitrogen bin. Right, all of his jet is just in there. It's just in there, all of it, all of his jizz. And you see him because he's got her tied up again, and he dips his turkey baster, and it's just a thick. And I'm like looking over at Maria, like, what the fuck is this? Right, so he dips in the baster. He's having a fucking scoop,
He's having a slurp.
Yeah, and he goes to impregnate the protagonist, but then Cook Boy, he's back from the dead, but he's black and raps about gats instead, and he has a fight with a blind guy, and then I think he gets wrecked again in that classic trope from horror movies. But she gets away and then beats up the blind guy and then pushes the turkey baster full of jet into his mouth and squirts it, and you just see him like it's like someone out of South Park. He's like just trying to drown him with his own jizz.
Yeah, it sounds mental.
And then it was just, I was just like, and then she gets away, goes to the airport with the money, and then it turns out the blind guy lived all along. Like,
I thought you were going to say it turns out he did put the jet in her somehow, and then she has to.
No, that definitely didn't happen.
That would have been
and I was just like, where was the horror element in this? Oh, not to mention this fucking Rottweiler, Sam. This Rottweiler, it's opening doors. It's beyond a fucking.
He's got Kevlar on. He's holding an Uzi.
He's opening doors. He's following her for miles. She gets out the house and the Rottweiler starts chasing her. She's in a car. It gets into a car.
Starts driving.
Mate, it's fucking mental.
Step on it. Follow that Rottweiler.
Yeah, and then it's in the car with her, and she gets it like fucking kept at a distance, and it's like row, 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 and she's just got the right length of mate. I was like, fucking kill me, just and I can't erase the memory of it from my brain. Turkey baster, super fucking sentient dog, like what an AIDS film. I'm just like fucking never again. So there you go. I just wanted to tell everybody about that. We can start the show now. It's out of my system, mate. I just had to. If you saw a film that bad, you need to tell people about it too. You need to just.
So why did Babadook become a gay icon anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we could talk about that. I don't know why, mate. I don't understand anything anymore. I just don't get it. It's just like I just take one day at a time. I wake up, I log on to the internet. Everything's mental. I go to bed. That's it. Like that's how I've got to live now. But yeah, for some reason,
apparently all it was jokingly floated on Tumblr that he was gay. That was.
I mean, he might be.
I know. That's it. Like that's all it took.
Yeah. Oh, sound. Well, there you go. So yeah, he's an LGBT icon. I mean, it's good in a way, like because the film wrecked him.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I'm glad he's got like a second life outside of that piece of shit movie and is doing all right. Because last time I saw him, he was eating a bowl of worms and he weren't happy.
Chained up.
So good for him. So anyway, yeah, let's start the show. Let's actually start the show. So here you go, Sam. What's your best memory? Oh no, wait. Nearly did it. Nearly missed it out, didn't I? Right, the new 2K game is out, and obviously we play a bit of 2K basketball. I haven't got the new one. Sounds like it would put me in the fucking poorhouse just to play it, by the way. But some of the bullshit I've fucking seen, mate, coming out of that game at the moment, loads of people have been like complaining about just how unreasonable it is online. And I saw this fucking streaming clip, mate. I've never seen anyone get wrecked so hard by a game. Oh, man. Because this is the thing. All gamers know about just what I call bullshit. It's what the word bullshit was meant to describe. It's where, like, the game just cheats you out of a fucking win, or something just so ridiculous happens it makes no sense, like a timely glitch or whatever. Well, mate, watch this guy get wrecked. And by the way, if you're using headphones at home, you might want to just dial it down a little bit, because this guy's got every right to be pissed off, by the way. I understand his reaction totally. Just, do you want a 3, 2, 1 it?
Yeah, all right, ready?
All right, yeah, go.
3, 2, 1, go.
No! Are you kidding me?
He's had to leave the room.
It's so good. It's so good, mate. A fucking buzzer beater from inside their own half of the court. Have you ever been so mad at a game? You hopped
around the rim.
Yeah, you hopped out of the fucking room.
Are you kidding me?
No!
No!
It's so fucking.
The way he fucking has a fit on the way out.
Oh, he gets absolutely fucking wrecked, man. Oh, no! That's brilliant. Here's the thing, right? Like, that isn't even peak bullshit. That isn't even as bad as it gets. I saw a GIF the other day. Someone was like, fuck this. Like, this clip just made someone uninstall. Now, it has no sound, but just again, we'll try and 3, 2, 1 it. It is a GIF, I suppose, but we can do it, right? We can do it.
Press that pause button on there, Freddie.
Yeah. Got it, yeah.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Now I'll do some commentary here. This is the most outrageous series of shit layups I've ever seen. Like, it just never ends as well. It's like a bad joke. You're like, okay, there's 2. Game's gonna be reasonable any second now. Like, nah, get fucked. You're having another off the rim. Here we go again. It's another off the rim. Now you've passed it there, mate. Oh, he's been slapped away. Like, no, this is the one. No, another
slap under the rim.
It's all right. Here we are.
No, slapped out of his hands.
Oh. Yeah, no, stop. And then they finally get the foul. Like, fuck, come on. That's never fucking happened in a game of basketball, has it? Like, that's never happened in a game of basketball, mate. Come on. What is that bullshit, mate? What is that bullshit? So, yeah, I just, like, couldn't fucking believe it, mate. All right, now we can start the show. So, yeah, just saying, 2K is setting a new standard for bullshit in game. I've never seen nothing like some of the clips I'm watching. Right. So, what was your favourite memory about school, Sam? Don't say the SpongeBob costume.
My favourite memory about school? I don't know. It'd probably be something shit. Like, I know. Because, I mean now. Because, like, something I would have found fun then wasn't for now. Like, I remember though. Right. Oh, fuck, you know. Oh, man. I can't even tell the story, man. Oh, man, I can feel the laughs kicking in already. It's probably not going to be funny anymore, but it's so funny just thinking about it. So we were in science for my mate Jordan. And we just never did any work. We were just cunts, right? Because school was just easy. We were just those people who just, you know, the exams were bullshit, weren't they? Yeah. So we did no work the entire lesson. And our teacher was usually sound, must have just had like a bad day. And she was like, right, I'm taking you to see the head, like our head of year. And he brings us in. And he sits us down. I can't handle it. He sits us down.
Yeah.
And he looks me in the eyes, but he looks me in the eyes, but he goes, oh, what? He looks me in the eyes and he goes,
better be good.
Mate, he goes, my son's brain doesn't work as good as yours. Right? Right? And he goes, but he still does 10 times more work as you. And I'm just crying, but trying not to laugh, pissing down my eyes. And then he screams at my mate, he goes, and you, what would your mother say if she knew about this? And he just goes, she'd probably be pretty cheesed off. And then I just broke laughing. Oh, man. Oh.
Fucking hell. Right,
That's still funny to think of now, mate.
Mate. Yeah, I saw some teachers have some outrageous breakdowns, right? Like some pure breakdowns.
I just don't get how you care that much, like.
Right, so get this, right? We used to have this music teacher, right? And I don't even know if it was true or not. Like it's just warped through the sort of like prism of time, you know. But here's the thing. I remember this, right? She was in a car accident or something and had to have a metal plate in her head. And then somehow it got round school that if you hummed a certain frequency...
it makes it vibrate or something.
Yeah, no, it would just drive her nuts. It would just drive her nuts, right? So every time she used to come into the class, we'd all just be there like... trying to hit the frequency, like going up octaves and shit. She'd be like, stop this! Stop this!
On a motorbike.
Yeah. And then it turned out it was a real sad story. I won't tell it here; it'll kill the vibe. But like, yeah. I mean, like, let's just say, if I could go back in time, maybe I wouldn't be one of the humming ones. But yeah, so like, I remember one time as well. Fucking this geography teacher that we had, he had a full breakdown. You know them like massive meter long rulers or whatever. He like tried to get everyone's attention because everyone was just talking and yucking it up, you know. And he smashed it off the table, right? And it just shattered. It's like, I swear to God, this shard of plastic just smashed this girl in the eye, nearly blinded her, right? So he's just dealing with that now. You just blinded a girl in your class.
You blinded a kid?
Yeah, you've just blinded Emily. Like, she's absolutely fucked
She
for life.
wasn't even doing nothing. That's what
mate, I was like, thing is as well, because it's like she's wrecked, like she's screaming and crying and all that. And he's like, immediately had to go over and comfort. He's thinking my job's all over. We're all just like, you know what I mean? Like,
fuck your life.
So anyway, what you were supposed to say? What you were supposed to say was best friends. My best friend. That was the answer I was looking for. And the reason I bring this up, Sam, is because I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's now a movement through sort of Europe, and indeed it's coming to UK and everything else, where they want to ban. And this sounds insane, but it's genuine. I'm going to give you a link here. They want to ban best friends.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Indeed. Well, if you can bring up the report, and basically what they're saying is, there's this school in called Thomas Battersea, and they're saying like having a best friend is actually it's too exclusionary, and they've been doing this in like some US schools for a while. And in Canada as well. And basically what they've said is like any kids who call somebody else a best friend, you have to like pull them to one side and explain that that's not okay. Right? Because what you're supposed to be doing is you're supposed to have them in broad groups and not you're not allowed a best friend anymore, basically, in these schools. Oh, and they also do this other thing, right, where if your child's like having a birthday party, you're not allowed to circulate invites at school unless you invite every kid.
What the fuck?
Now think about that, right? Because I'll tell you this: when I had my birthdays when I was young, I might not been the most popular kid in school when I was younger, like actually young enough to have group birthday parties at the local leisure centre or whatever. But there was still kids beneath me in the social pecking order that I wasn't having there. No chance.
The snobs in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The smelly meth kids that that you don't associate with, and then like when you get older, you look back and you're like, wow, he lived in grinding poverty. I should have been a bit more compassionate. Those ones. So now you have to invite them all if you want to circulate your invites at school, which is like obviously the most convenient way to do it. You get all the kids in a room. You can come. And if you don't give an invite to, this is why I think they stopped like Valentine's Day cards as well at most schools.
Fucking hell, why are they just removing all rejection from kids' life? They're just never going to be used to it.
I know, you need the rejection, don't you?
Yeah, you need to fucking wake up. No, you're not coming my birthday. I don't like you. You need that in your life. That's something that molds your character.
Yeah, well, look, here's the reality. Not everybody's gonna like everybody else. It's not that, it just doesn't work like that. So yeah, I mean, fuck. I remember Valentine's Day. You don't get any cards. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just sat there, and the popular kids got like 20. Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything because you're like 9. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What are you gonna do? No one's doing anything with it. It's just like some sort of weird little perceived social status. Imagine being one of those popular kids. Gets the 20 Valentine's cards and the fucking adoration when he's 9. He gets to 16. He's finally old enough to start fucking doing something about it.
He'll be going to uni for liberal arts and
it's all dried up, hasn't it? It's all dried up. No Valentine's cards now. I peaked at the right time. I peaked old enough to get laid. I'm all right with it. I don't mind those years where I didn't get Valentine's cards. Yep, can't do nothing with that. So, yeah, and then I even remember, in fact, like there were some kids who just were blatantly never going to get any. And you know what I'm talking about, Sam. There's some kids that just aren't ever going to get Valentine's Day cards. Ever. It's just not going to happen for them. And I remember we had a teacher who used to write sneaky ones, with the from question mark for those kids. And they'd be made up,
Bit creepy, isn't it? Sending Valentine's cards to kids, you little creep.
I mean, again, you probably couldn't do it these days. Probably an instant dismissal, but this is what went on when I went to school.
So you've been the secret admirer of 12 children.
Hey, you've got a Valentine's Day card. How does it make you feel? Over 50,000. And you'd be super happy about it the rest of the day, But yeah, you can't do it anymore. So no besties, no rejection of any kind. Everyone is equal friends in the new glorious utopia. I just couldn't believe it when I saw that story. I was like, please don't let that be a thing. Best friends are fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. Then I saw this, which kind of loosely ties on. There was like a PSA about a new form of bullying. And I was like, oh, a new form. Kids are sophisticated these days, Everyone's saying like, with all this like interconnectivity, you can't get away from the bullying. That's one of the problems we face with bullying these days, You go to school, you get wrecked. And where me and you used to just be able to come home and just be like, yeah, fuck it. Sit on the couch, you know what I mean? Go play some football down the park with the boys or whatever. Fucking now, apparently it's like, I'll just go on the internet. Ping, ping. There's all messages at you, tweets at you. They're on you. Obviously there's ways to get away from it, but I suppose kids, I don't know. They don't want to, do they? They want to, but they don't, do they?
Just don't want to.
So obviously there's all this like talk about cyberbullying these days, and how it's a problem, and it's true. It's like, I guess it's a lot harder for kids these days, isn't it? Because because you've got an online presence, we didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. Like I don't have to worry about all the stupid shit I said or did. Like, here's the thing: I used to be in a fucking band, and for the first couple of years I was doing it, it was fucking terrible. I'll never have to worry about that surfacing. But I suppose if I was going to school these days, that would be on Facebook. Just follow me for the rest of my life. But anyway. So what could the new form of bullying be? And this was an article about roast me.
I mean, that's just not bullying, though, is it? If you're asking to be roasted.
That's what I thought. But it said, this is on the New Jersey real-time news. Hashtag roast me. New form of cyberbullying parents should know about. And they said it's called roasting.
I don't think you understand what's going on.
Yeah. A new form of cyberbullying that experts are warning parents about as it becomes particularly popular among children and teens. Often under the hashtag roast me. The trend involves people uploading videos of themselves on social media and asking to be roasted.
Correct.
Correct. Now, I immediately... Right. And then it goes here, and it goes on platforms like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, friends and strangers then go back and forth, posting barbs about the person in the video, often including hurtful and humiliating attacks.
Indeed.
That's the game. That's the point.
It's like signing up for Fear Factor. It's like, they made me eat kangaroo knobs. Yes, Fear Factor. That's kind of what you signed up for. Like.
Yeah. You said you were eating the knob. You signed the waiver. You're eating a knob.
Don't get a knob down now.
No, shut up and eat this dried kangaroo knob. Why is it always kangaroos who are having the knobs off? I love it. Mad, isn't it? So yeah, look, see. So the new trend might be hard for some to understand, with some asking why a child would intentionally ask to be publicly humiliated. Yes. Banter, of course, banter levels. However, experts like Stephanie Humphrey, a tech life expert, says children may not always know the difference between being funny and being hurtful to their peers, and that parents need to be aware and vigilant with their child's social media activity.
Well, Stephanie, some experts may not know the difference between asking to be roasted and purposely giving hurtful comments and receiving them involuntary.
So then she says here, I think we have, this is the Stephanie Humphrey. I think we need to have the proper mindset to have about this. It could be harmless, but when hundreds of people have access to you, that is a completely different scenario. I think we need to be careful not to dismiss this. The tools make this a much more dangerous thing. And then she says, it is actually a form of digital self-harm.
What are you even saying?
Almost the same as cutting.
No, it's not, though. No, it's not. Stephanie, your box is gone. Your box is gone, Steph. What the fuck do you mean?
It's unreal, isn't it?
She's lost it, mate. Someone have a word with Steph.
Did I ever tell you about that, by the way? Because you said the box is gone. I ever tell you about that guy who...
The guy, the speed guy.
Yeah, when we were up. Yeah, I'll just repeat it again because obviously it's super sad. Like Gary Speed, Newcastle legend, Welsh legend, so obviously very close to my heart, and committed suicide. Like really tragic. It was the anniversary of it. I think a few weeks ago. Well, I think it would have been in his 50s now, And we were sat having dinner with someone, and he basically said, "Oh, I tell you what. I know what happened with Gary Speed," because it was a bit of a strange death. It was like he'd had an argument with his wife and then he turned up dead in the garage, and some people were like it was a cry for help, and what was going on with it all. There was a lot of really strange intimations in the press, and I went, what's that then? Thinking he might have some insight or he might have heard something, because you know what it's like. It's close communities in Wales and stuff, People talk, people hear things. I used to remember Craig Bellamy's brother used to come into the boozer I used to work at quite on the regular, and you'd hear all this, news and gossip and whatnot. And he looks up, dead serious, and he goes, "His fucking box had gone." And he did the fucking lip wobble.
Just looking at him.
Sound
check, please.
Sound Sigmund Freud. Like, you cracked the case wide open, didn't you? Right. So anyway, it's a form of digital self-harm, almost the same as cutting, because they don't feel worthy already, and then they use the roasting to reinforce what they already feel bad about. So
mentally ill, Steph.
That's what she says.
I'm a laid out.
Then she said this. She said parents need to be aware of potential legal ramifications.
Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Kids are being arrested for accessories to assault if a child commits suicide. Some can be held liable for that, and parents should have a talk to their children about why they shouldn't be participating in a roast itself. Now, here's the thing. What I will say is, I guess this sort of defines, what do you consider a child? And I don't necessarily consider a teenager to be the same as a child. I think the teenage years are the years you start getting the tools to deal with being an adult, even though you're not quite fully equipped. And let's be real, we see arguments all the time. At 16, you can join the military. At 16, you can, in the UK at least, at 16, you can have sex. And people, as a result of this, want to lower the voting age to 16. 16 is still unbelievably young. I wasn't I wasn't an adult at 16 by any stretch of the imagination. I had a pretty tough upbringing and was a bit more worldly wise, you know. So I can understand the concern for, say, young children, but I wouldn't. But again, surely there's no 8-year-olds out there going on hashtag fucking
roast me, like.
Do you know what I mean? Take selfies.
I know how these savages roasting 8-year-old children.
That's what I mean.
Boy, you look like a motherfucker.
Who the fuck would do that? Just a little 8-year-old kid on Reddit, and you think, I'm gonna end this cunt. Like, who
boy,
does
you got
that?
a round head.
Yeah,
This kid.
Charlie Brown looking motherfucker. Obviously, no one would roast a kid savagely, you know. So I don't really get it. I don't think kids are out there using hashtag roast me.
And if you wanted to stop, delete the picture with hashtag on it, and then nobody will find it.
And then, you know, if that is the case, you know, this is the other thing. It's very different for an adult roasting a kid, right, on like Reddit or whatever, to getting roasted by your peers, because you don't have the cutting wit of a kid, you know. You a smelly doo-doo head. Surely you can deal with that,
boy, if
it's what you know. So yeah, I was just fucking blown away. But maybe I'm wrong, you know. I'll be willing to accept. I don't know. Kids are fucking, you know.
Stephanie's gone wrong, mate.
Yeah. It just feels like kids are like the world that children are growing up in is like it's all the sharp edges. It's been fucking took off. I mean, and I don't. I'm not saying, like, obviously, if it was your child, you'd want to protect them from everything. You should.
Nah, what the fuck? I would not want to protect my child from getting raw. If my child posted a picture of himself saying, roast me, and I was like, Dad, everyone's calling me ugly. Why? Because I told them to make fun of me. Well, fucking deal with it, ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking grow up.
That's what my folks would have said as well, like, you know what I mean? But obviously, I don't know, times have changed a little bit. So, yeah, I'm just saying I'd be willing to, you know, fucking... You know, I'd be an overprotective parent. I think that's fair to say.
I would, but not if it's my child's fault. I'm very unaccepting of stupidity, just in general. So if it's your bad.
And like, you know, yeah, you want your kid to go through some negative experiences, right?
Yeah, exactly. You want to experience the real world.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll move on now. Obviously, anti-Trump hysteria sells. We know that. I saw a failed Kickstarter got sent this by somebody on the old social media using hashtag roast me, and I just couldn't believe this. I couldn't fucking believe this. Like, how pathetic do you have to be to come up with this idea, try and market it? Failed Kickstarter, of course, or like didn't even get close. It was from Canada. And what they've got here is they made something called the Trump Dump, which is it's a projector that projects Donald Trump's face onto the water so you can shit in his face. That's literally...
Why don't you just get Trump toilet paper? Why have you got to go, you know, fucking cyborg on it? Let's just keep it simple.
I don't know, mate.
Could have made that for $1,000.
Do you want to watch the video and you'll get a feel for like why this project is the most pathetic thing of all time?
Right. Ready for 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
3, 2, 1, go.
Trump is a turd.
Fucking hell.
Since his election, it has been amazing.
Joe Everyman.
I don't know what I said.
We have some bad hombres here. You are fake news.
Every time he's opened his mouth, I kept wishing there would be some way to put some of that crap back in. It got so bad I just couldn't stomach it anymore. It didn't matter if you were a woman, disabled, gay, Mexican, Muslim, poor, sick.
I don't care how sick you are.
Or just someone who cared about the environment.
We need some global warming.
Trump was taking a dump on everyone.
Your panini.
Excuse me, did you have a Trump dump?
A what? Sir,
What
okay?
are you even on about?
Your tablet. Sir.
Just so sad,
I knew
isn't
I
it,
couldn't
man?
be the only one who felt this way. Do you guys know where the Trump dump is?
Check out the acting as well.
Fuck you.
There had to be others struggling to hold it in.
Of course.
Yeah. That's why you should have genderless bathrooms right there.
And then
You could have went in.
I found it. The relief I was looking for. A way I could literally take a dump on Trump's toupeed orange head.
I mean, it's not literally, was
I hope you're hungry, Trump.
Mentally ill.
Suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore.
ريدم تو حلقت ما گوست تفکرن دونالد ترامپ.
And you don't have to be
shut
either.
it side.
So join the movement with your next movement and take a dump on Trump.
None of them wash your hands, of course, you disgusting fucking gross cunts. Slap your shit smeared fingers all over each other.
So join the movement. Brilliant, right? So, and there's just a bunch of stuff on the page, like whether or not they were ever seriously going to market the product. It was just another example of like these weird fucking virtue signaling Kickstarters and stuff. It was just like, come on, this ain't even funny. I disagree with the president of the United States, so I'm going to shit on his face. I'm out.
So
This is the level of discourse. So I got sent that. Like, I was just like, fuck me. Like, come on, grow up. Right, dogs. We already talked about a dog in Don't Breathe. How about this for a sequel? Don't Bark. Right? Because apparently over in Oregon, what they're doing now is if your dog barks too loudly repeatedly, a court can rule that you must surgically remove its vocal cords.
sorry.
Horry. Yeah, this is the Oregon Court of Appeals ruled recently that a couple in Oregon have to quiet their incessantly barking dogs in their neighborhood by sending them to the vet to have their voices removed. It's called debarking surgery, and
Rebarked, debarked.
yeah. And yeah, basically, it's a solution that is court mandated. So it's like your options are get rid of the dogs. Well, for this family now, the options are get rid of the dogs, which might involve destroying them. I don't know, or have a debarking operation, and that's what's been ruled, or move. I suppose is the other option. It's called devocalization. It's considered a very controversial operation to have because you're literally snipping the vocal cords of an animal, and this has been sort of ruled, as something that they have to do. It's no option. And on top of that, the owners of the dog had to pay the family that complained about the dogs $238,000 in damages.
You what, mate?
Fabin. I mean, here's the thing. Trust me, it would get on my fucking tits. So I live in
not $238,000 worth of tits.
Nah, not $238,000 worth of pain and suffering. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. I live in a neighborhood where because these apartments here, everyone's allowed to have a dog. It's like one of the few in the area where you can do that. In nice apartments, and everyone's got one. It seems, and I imagine I'd be pretty pissed off. Like, let's say I was trying to do this show now, and all you could hear in the background was row, 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 row. It would be fucking super annoying, wouldn't it? It would actually start affecting my livelihood, and I don't know what the solution would be. But I'll honestly say, hand on heart, I wouldn't be like, I'm taking you to court to get your motherfucking dog debarked. Is there? I'd be like, look, mate, can you have a word with the dog? Can we get fucking Dr. Doolittle on the case or just something? Because I work from home and I got shit to do. So I try and figure out a compromise, but I couldn't believe this case. Like, I mean, I suppose I haven't heard how loud the fucking dog is, mind.
Because it's a debarking.
It's a big one. It's a Tibetan Mastiff. Let's have a look at these fuckers on YouTube. Because what if they're ultra loud, mate? It might change my view here. Giant.
It might be one of the loudest dog breeds. I think I just said.
Well, hang on. Let me just see if this video is good. It's just video footage of them. What? It's a fucking actual loud one, is it?
Should have said there.
It is rumored that the Tibetan monster mastiff has lion's blood in its veins. Yeah, these sound like badass dogs, by the way. Let me just see what happens here. Tibetan mastiff attack this one. All right, here we go. Go to like 2 minutes 50 here.
It's not a bad mauling, though, is it?
No. It's not an attack. It's just getting leery.
All right.
It's like, it's one of those things where a guy in a big coat is like a dickhead. Like, yeah. But like 256.
256.
Just have a play of that. Like, pretty loud. Like.
It's getting leery.
I mean, it's louder than them cunts, and they're screaming. Now, that might get on my tits, mate.
Yeah, probably.
That might get on my tits. But still, they look like, real beautiful dogs, and you don't want to fucking have their throat cut just for your benefit, do you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just say fucking keep them somewhere else. Or take them on a walk or something. Do summit. But
yeah, that's a pretty big fucking dog, like. So yeah, maybe I'm slightly more sympathetic. Not massively sympathetic, you know what I mean? Like, I don't support having dogs getting fucking wrecked.
Slicing their vocal cords out.
Yeah. So we can move into sports now. We see we're covering all of our bases. This is what we talk about. Political correctness gone mad, dogs, game, shit films we sat through. And now we're going to talk about sports because we love that too. Remember that MMA fighter, the chick who shit herself?
Yeah.
Did it on the she got choked and she shit herself and everyone laughed at it because a little nugget of poo fell out of her shorts.
Little shit nugget.
Yeah, and she was like, shit happens. she took it like a champ, right? Well, this is even worse. This is even worse, right? So there's a guy called Travis Walford, and he's in the same physical shape I'm in. There's no way he should be in a fucking octagon, like at all. Have a look at this build on the cunt. He's the fucking fat bald guy. All right, they're both fat and bald. He's the fatter balder guy.
He's the fattest bald one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's a big boy, like.
So anyway, apparently what happened was, like, to prepare for his fight, the night before, he went out and he went to some like local chili house, like high level athletics. Isn't it? Like, it's like darts or something. Like, oh, how did you prepare for your fight? I went out and had an ultra hot chili. Like, you know what I mean? Now time to get punched repeatedly in the gut.
Carolina Reaper, mate. Fucking lovely, mate.
Yeah. So, anyway, he fucking reaped me up, dude. So anyway,
it's like Paul Bible instead of spinach, it says chili.
He got beaten up, right, and then he got put in a chokehold, and the guy, like, as he tapped out, he just shit himself.
He shit the bed.
Now, you'll see the moment, I think, in the video. It's at about 30 seconds when shit just starts dropping out of his shorts. Like, just he gets up, right? Because look, like, he's out immediately. I don't even think that's a particularly strong hold there. I think he just was gassed and blowing out.
And he shit in the floors.
Yeah, and that's literally where it happens there when he's lying down. He's like, yeah, better get up, and then it's nugs.
He's dropping nugs.
Yeah, he's dropping nugs, mate. And then he's like, yeah, I better get out the ring. Look at him limping. Look at him limping from the shit. Straight having a limp, like, because he's just fucking absolutely wrecked himself, like.
He's got a soggy leg.
Yeah, and then look, like, people are like filming it and like, look, everyone's like dry heaving and shit. That's unreal, isn't it, bruh?
They just limps out the ring. Yeah, that's my shit.
So I was like, that fucking, that can't be happening, can it? Like, that's like, here's the thing, right? Obviously, if you shit yourself, it's obviously embarrassing and everything. But I think in the same way, you know, a doctor tells you, like, don't eat, you know, so when you have an operation, there's less chance of, like, you know, you're just shitting yourself while you're under anesthetic or whatever, which obviously could create complications. Maybe people who shit themselves in the ring need to be told, like, why you got shit
chili before you go out and fight.
Yeah, he definitely needs a fine. Like, he's in a local chili house shoveling it in. Like, he has like, fuck off. Get a grip of yourself, mate. So what else have I got here? Like, there's a few other bits and pieces. Oh, also in sports, pretty unreasonable. I don't know if you remember Ugo Ehiogu. I always thought he was one of the better centre-backs that England had produced, and he never quite got as many caps for England as I felt he deserved, and never quite got the respect in the game. He was never held up to the standards I believe he should have been. There was that unfortunate incident as well where Alan Shearer, the one time Alan Shearer got needlessly chopsy, he did like a bicycle kick and kicked Ugo Ehiogu in the face and fractured his eye socket when Newcastle were playing Aston Villa way back when. Anyway, well, it was a fucking tragedy not that long ago. I think it was April. He died at 44 of having a heart attack, you know, and he was coaching and everything else. And just really sad because you don't expect it, you know, from an athlete, someone who's like lived their life healthily, and he was like a genuinely liked guy, you know, was a legend in Birmingham, you know, and he was at Villa for fucking time. He was like just one of the bedrocks of the team, and he went to Middlesbrough after that. So, you know, the guy was a top boy. And died at 44. Well, anyway, I saw this fucking on the news, and Paddy Power, right? And I love the Paddy Power social media account. It's pretty funny as fuck, you know. They have a bit of banter with all the bets and stuff. Well, they put out a list of names of people who were going to take over Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp just left Birmingham City, right? And Ugo Ehiogu was 66-1
to come back from the dead
to take over Harry Redknapp's spot. And obviously, now here's the thing, I've got to say, this isn't a joke. Like, Paddy Power didn't put that up there to be funny. Yeah. You know. But keep in mind, I could walk into a bookies and I could put money on Elvis getting the job. So I'm just putting that out there. You know what I mean? Bookies will take bets on anything. I legitimately could give a bookie money. You know, I'm amazed it's only 66-1, like.
Yeah, come on.
I'd expect you go to 100 for a dead dude, surely. Right? But here's the thing. There's this weird fucking, like, outrage. You know, everyone gets outraged immediately. Like, it's obviously an honest mistake. This was on the fucking... This isn't even in the sports papers, Sam. This is in the news. It's just an honest mistake on a betting account. Paddy Power had to apologise to, you know, Ugo's family. I mean, yeah, maybe that's appropriate. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, oh, we're real sorry about that. But loads of people were like retweeting it. Like, fucking look at this. It's a disgrace. Like, it's not banter, is it? Like,
yeah, I know. It's not like it's offensive.
Yeah, someone just didn't update a list somewhere. BBC jumped on it. Look at this. Paddy Power offered 66-1 odds on him taking over a move punters have blasted as sick. Like, oh, come on. It's a fucking obviously an honest mistake. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know, it's, if anything, just hammers home how sad it is he's dead. But yeah, everyone, this is grotesque. There was like tweets I saw people going, Paddy Power, delete your account, hang your fucking head in shame. I'm like, come on. They probably had him like listed to take, because I know how like bookies work, right? They create these like templates, and what you do is you put people in who've been linked with jobs, because obviously they're getting intelligence all the time, you know. So you put people into these like templates who are linked with jobs, right? And then, you know, the odds fluctuate based on like coaching badges and, you know, newspaper chatter, you know, intel. And obviously, Ugo Ehiogu, you know, is a local to Birmingham, you know. You fucking expect him to probably be in contention for a job in Birmingham. So he's probably been on a short list for ages, And they just didn't update that list when he passed away. And that's all there is to it. No harm, no foul. Really sorry. Nah. Outrage. Outrage, I tell thee. Poor Hugo. Miss him. Right, okay. Politics now, I suppose. Throw in a bit of politics. Did you hear about the New Orleans candidate for mayor?
Nope.
It's a good one. He's gone fucking mental. Like, right, so there's a guy called Frank Skurlock, and he's a candidate for mayor in New Orleans. He was like one of his big, like all his campaign promises and stuff are about how he's gonna streamline the police department, and he's also been like saying, let's make New Orleans fun again, and he's gonna fucking like bring tourism back to the area.
Some more
and
gambling and beak essentially is what.
Yeah. So obviously he's attained some notoriety on the campaign trail and has been deemed pretty popular. Anyway, he allegedly, I must say, he got caught masturbating in an Uber.
He's like that guy. Remember the guy who did Corny 2012, and after that had mad success. He was just found wanking in the streets.
Like, what happened? Happens to people, like, what's what happens? A little bit of attention. It's just I can just jerk off wherever I fucking want. The reality, yeah, me. So yeah, look, he says it's without merit, right? It's just so retarded. Apparently, it happened back in February over in California, and he doesn't like. There's no excuse. He hasn't offered an excuse. So, look, let me read you what he said. He said, I have no idea what I'm being charged with. What you guys in the press told me is more than I know, which is impossible. If you get in charged with a misdemeanor, you will get told what that misdemeanor is. So that's a bit suspicious, the fact that he can't even say, oh, yeah, they're trying to charge.
I have no idea what happened. I wasn't there. I don't even use Uber.
So I'll just read you this. Skurlock's arraignment in Los Angeles County Criminal Court is set for October 16th, 2 days after the primary. The Uber driver told police and prosecutors she was driving on a freeway near Santa Monica when she heard sounds coming from the back seat. White said Friday, reading from the driver's statement. Concluding that Skurlock was masturbating, the driver pulled over and opened the door. When she did this, she said she found Skurlock with his pants round his ankles, his shirt pulled up, and his erect penis.
He's not even having a sneaky wank, mate.
I know, that's
He's like one of those guys who goes to piss in a urinal and puts their trousers around their ankles while they piss in.
Like, yeah.
Standing proud.
So, that's the thing, like, if you're gonna do that, surely you do it. You put your hand in you play pocket billiards or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, why has he gone for the full? Like, just even tucking the shirt up for when he jets. He's thinking ahead. Like, it's so mad. Like,
Skurlock Lawns, mate.
Yeah. So the driver tells him to get out the car, and then she immediately goes to a gas station and calls police. And then Skurlock had already fled the scene.
He's run away.
Yeah. And they ended up finding him in his hotel. Driver identified him from a photo lineup. And this is where it gets really interesting. So doing that is somehow a misdemeanor, right? Like, I'm like, if you're just wanking at a woman who's driving you somewhere, like you probably need to go away for a little bit. You know what I mean? That's my thought. Yeah. You're probably not fit to be on the streets, right? That's just my opinion. Right? Maybe not everyone agrees, but compulsive masturbators are fucking weird cats. They need serious get off, go. Here's a home, like, you know what I mean?
Go wank over there.
Yeah. Go wank in this room away from everyone else, please, till you learn how to control yourself. But like I said, right, so it's a misdemeanor. But if he's found guilty, he'll have to be on the sex offenders register. Right. So all of a sudden, his slogan of "Make New Orleans Fun Again" Oh my god, what a fucking mess that is! Like,
he wants to have everyone wanking in the streets and everyone gambling.
I've just won the election. What's the first order of the day, Mayor Skurlock? We are going to legalize wanking in cars. Like, sound. It's unreal. It just reminds me of. Did you ever? You used to watch Brass Eye, right?
No, I don't think so.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I mean, I don't think we can even play the clip, unfortunately, because they really. There's a bit where the fucking politician who's running for office in Brass Eye, in a Brass Eye episode, in the politics special or whatever it was, a senator gets caught masturbating on stage, you know, and they really show it. It's blurred out, but there's like there's. You know, things flying out in the thing. Like, it's so we definitely can't show it on Twitch. But basically, like, it does this whole bit where he's like just in a crowd and he's like just jetting into the crowd while they're all cheering his name and stuff. And then they explain it away, saying it was like a fucking he has a medical condition and he had to relieve some pressure. For the first excuse is he sneezed in his hand, and when he started relieving the pressure, it was like fly. The whole thing's hilarious. It's like fucking brilliant. But the problem with Brass Eye is, you know, Brass Eye came out in the fucking 90s, you know, legendary satirist Chris Morris. Everything that's on that show now has just come true. It just happens as a matter of course. But hang on, I'll skip past. I'll see if I can show some of this. No, I can't. It's all too much, mate. There's prosthetic dicks and everything. Yeah, just go find it, guys. just go find it. Watch Brass Eye. Everyone should watch Brass Eye. It's a great show. So there you go. So mayoral candidates just jerking off in Ubers. That's all fair game now. Now this I thought was a fucking mad story. There's a new type of ransomware. You know about ransomware, right? Yeah. So again, I'm sure it's happened to all of us, right? You're on your computer, maybe you're on a site downloading a torrent, right? Which you shouldn't be doing because it's illegal and very naughty. Or you're, you know, on a fucking porn website, right? Maybe your fucking ad blocker's not up to date. And you get these things called ransomware. And what ransomware does is it locks up your PC, right? I mean, so there's varying degrees of sophistication. But typically what they do is it locks up your PC, right? And then you have to do something to get it back. Now, sometimes it's as simple as just unplugging your cable and closing your browser. And sometimes you have to delete a cookie. And sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. But, you know, you can always get it off there, right? But what it does is it'll come up with a sign saying, you know, oh, I'm a fucking... This is
Virus
Microsoft.
detected. You owe us 10,000 US dollars.
Your hard drive will be deleted in 5 minutes if you do not pay the following amount, you know, whatever it is, right? And then what you do is you go through to either a phone number or a web link, and you've got to give them your bank details, and you get fucking rinsed. I've even seen videos where people call up.
Yeah, just fucking around with them, is it?
Yeah. I want to see if I can find that, actually. Like, there was a real... Yeah, there was a real funny one.
Like, they do it on a virtual machine on the computer, so, like, they let them on the virtual machine, and then they'll say, I'm not paying you, and then you can watch them try and, like, fuck up their PC, like, they'll delete System 32 from your PC.
Yeah.
On the way out.
There was a really good one. Shit, I gotta find it. Was this it? Let me just see if I can find it. Hang on, because there's a guy who does... Yeah, so what he does is he calls up these like tech support scammers, and he uses the characters from like Deus Ex, right? And it's like a soundboard. So I gotta find it. Here we go. I've got it. This is great. We'll play the whole thing, I guess, and then we can just delete it off the VOD, right?
Yep.
I don't want to rip this guy off in that sense.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is really fucking funny, dude.
Oh,
What this guy
likes fair use nowadays. Everyone loves the DMCA, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, this is a guy. His YouTube account is called Ice and Jam, and he basically just does like prank calls and using soundboards, and they're pretty well done. So here you go. Like, just in fact, we could probably skip halfway through just so we don't play it all. But I'll tell you when. So yeah, 3, 2, 1 it, because it is 5 minutes long. So.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you for calling support. My name is Daniel, and how can I help you today?
Hello?
Hello?
The computer got a virus.
Your computer got a virus?
Yeah. So what exactly am I supposed to do?
Sir, it's a paid support, and if you have got a virus on your computer, I can assign a technician, and there might be fee for it.
Fine, I'll do it.
Okay. And which computer you have? It's an HP computer?
I don't know exactly.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, we're just robbing you anyway.
Let me connect you to the billing department, and he will take the information.
I need to know I can trust you.
Okay, it's a legitimate company, okay, and
okay, yeah, sounds legit.
If you want to check, you can check the number that you have dialed on Google, okay? It's a legitimate support, and you can trust me. Till the time the issue is not fixed, we are not going to charge the card.
I've got as much interest in finding out who's behind this as you do.
Who is behind what?
Listen to me. Whatever's going on, it's big. You've got a better chance of getting to the bottom of it if you work with me. Okay.
So I'm there, and
I'm there.
I'm cooperating with you. Let me know what information I can provide it to you.
You said an outside agency may have tampered with the store. What did you mean by that?
Outside agency has tampered with the store?
Yeah.
Where do you see this? Where do you see this message?
I shut down some sort of signal antenna in Derelict Row. I figured it might be transmitting something dangerous. Yeah.
No, I don't have any idea about that. I have to assign a network technician. He would be able to do that and check that and let you also know about what is going on.
So what am I looking for?
All right, so hang on. Jump ahead now to
wait,
320. No, yeah, just before that. Sorry. Yeah. 3:15.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Support.
Okay.
.com.
All right.
What do you
So it's laughing at.
I'm listening.
Pause yours for like a second or two.
No, what do you see on the screen?
What is it exactly you need me to do?
I want you to go to Google and type in as I say.
Listen to me. I'm a professional. I know how things work. I'm Seraph Industries Chief of Security. You were
so if you're a
played.
professional, you can't get out of a virus?
You were played.
Oh, he's giving it.
You led your people into a trap, and now you're on the verge of getting yourself killed. Unless you let her go.
Shut up. Okay?
Shut up.
Shut the hell up. Don't
Shut
waste
up.
your and my time.
Whatever.
Okay?
I'm here to arrest you.
Just here to help.
I strongly suggest you consider a
Oh.
peaceful resolution. Tell me, what lesson are you teaching your kids? It's bad enough they're gonna find out you're a criminal.
Hey, you are
He's getting
a
wrecked.
fucking idiot, you know that?
Be lucky I don't report you to Seraph. I ever catch you doing anything remotely shady like this again, and I won't be as forgiving. You
Go
get
ahead.
that?
Go ahead. Go ahead, do whatever you want to.
You talk tough, but we both know that's all you can do. Deep down, you're nothing but a coward. Oh, trust me, tough guy. I'm the real thing. If you don't give me what I want, I won't beat you up. I'll kill you.
You know, he's got scared.
Yeah, he's fucking bailed. So anyway, ransomware, right? This is what happens, you know. You have to fucking go through to some cunt and talk to them, and they pretend to be like a fucking, fucking competent person and not a criminal, not a cyber criminal. And you give them money, and then you get your PC back, you know. And obviously, you should never do that. It's all a fucking scam. It's a crime. But there's a new type of ransomware, and I cannot fucking believe this. This is just beyond outrageous, right? So what this ransomware does is it asks for nude pictures to unlock your computer. Yeah. All right, so I'll just read it. Now, a similar, because there was one over in Japan. This is what the first paragraph says. There was one over in Japan where it was like you had to play a game to unlock your PC, you know, which is quite interesting. It's still a crime, probably, but you know, no one's getting wrecked.
At least there's some sort of Saw element. At least there's a way out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, want to play a game. But so what it does now is it asks users
to show Bob.
Yeah, to send them nude pictures. And it's called Ransomware. And when it pops up, it plays the music from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it says like send nudes, and it locks up your computer. So you have to create an account, and it tells you to send it via Proton Mail. So obviously there's no sort of traces or anything. Then you have to send an email to 1_kill_yourself_1 at protonmail.com with nudes. So I imagine the thing is like what we talked about on the show before is that it's they're using that for the purposes of further blackmail, right? Like you sign up and you send your nudes, and then they're going to come back at you and be like, we will release your nudes if you do or say anything. So definitely watch out for that. That's just fucking mad, isn't it? How fucking outrageous is that? It's fucking bonkers. Right. So hang on, I got a few other bits and pieces here. I actually saw a fucking banging story on the Discord. I definitely want to get into this. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, did you see that thing about fucking Bungie, over in Destiny 2?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what they did was, right, there was an in-game item. And it's just like, this shit is really fucking tiresome. Like it's beyond tiresome. So virtue signaling games developers they're just mashing my fucking head. You know what I mean? Like just calm the fuck down with it. Like at the end of the day, consumers, like, okay, there's a degree to which I care about your personal politics, right? We talked about this with like certain companies. If your company is engaged in something unethical, like really unethical, okay, like you use child sweatshops to manufacture your products or, whatever, people should probably stop using those products. People should probably boycott that company. What I don't care about is your weird fucking, moral sermonizing about internet culture. I don't really give a fuck about that. I don't want my games developers to be like giving me a list of like, well, we think this is good and we think that. I don't care, right? Are you using child labor? No. Are you putting fucking drugs in the product and killing everyone? No. All right, okay, I'm all right then. You know what I mean? I've got a real short fucking list of things I don't want companies to do. But Bungie, who made Destiny 2, there was this glove in it, right? There was an item in the game, the Road Complex AA1 gauntlets specifically. And you can bring the picture up here and you can see it looks like the Kekistani flag. Now, the Kek flag, I don't understand why people are so fucking scared of memes, right? Because I understand, I'm attuned to internet culture, so I understand the origins of the Kekistani flag. I know where it all comes from, going right the way back to the Pepe the Frog. This is just a continuation of a counterculture. That's all it is. So Pepe the Frog was popularized on 4chan. Then during the election, Pepe took on some extra significance. People found the connection between the Egyptian god Kek, who is a frog, and Pepe, and that's why people started to believe that we were going to win the election. The word Kek, praise Kek, became a thing that people said to show that they were in the know about this particular brand of internet culture. And then because anybody who was, using this culture at all, anybody who knew what 4chan was, they were being called deplorable. They were being called scumbags, assholes, pieces of shit, racists, Nazis. All of it not true, right? I'm not saying there weren't bad elements within the group. But the point was, it's not like, again, people have to understand it's not a hierarchical thing. It's like using a hashtag like Gamergate. There's not one person in charge of it. No one's vetting the membership, right? And in the same way that people say for other movements, you can't blame it on a few radicals. Fine. Well, don't portray all the people who are on 4chan as fucking white supremacists then, because the vast majority aren't like that at all. So anyway, Kekistani became this sort of like mythical land where that, and it was a way of identifying if you were in the know, if you belonged to this group, to this subculture. And they made a flag, and the flag is a deliberate parody of Nazi Germany iconography, because that's what everyone was calling them at the time. Haha, you're Nazis, you're white supremacists. So they were like, okay, here's our national flag. Lol. And it's green. And understand, people say, but the color doesn't matter. Right? Well, colors do matter on flags, don't they? You know what I mean? If you take the 3 stripes on the French flag and color them black, yellow, and red, you get the Belgian flag. So obviously colors matter. Colors are significant. So anyway, this item was put in the game, and as you can see, it does seem to have some similarities with the Kekistani flag. I don't understand why this would be a problem to anybody. It's just green and white and black on someone's arm, but Bungie removed it and apologized, saying it was a symbol of hate. And that they were, that they were really, really sorry and it would never happen again and it doesn't reflect their values. And they even said in their apology on Twitter, we renounce hate in all of its forms. And as if an in-game item was capable of hatred. Yeah. He's wearing the gauntlets! He's wearing the gauntlets!
He's oppressing me!
Mad, isn't it? And it is unbelievably stupid. And, of course, a lot of people saw this and they were like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. And then people quickly bounced back with this argument, it's a dog whistle, though. It normalizes, white supremacists. Like, the alt-right use this flag. I mean, they definitely don't. That's not where it originates from. And this is the problem. This is the problem countercultures face, because the only people preserving the truth around a subculture are the people within that subculture. The mainstream media are not going to portray you in an accurate fashion. We know this. Gamers are evil. Go back before gamers. People who watch horror movies are potential monsters. Let's ban the films. Before that, Dungeons and Dragons, Satanists. I've been through a dozen moral panics down the years. And one thing I can say is at no point does the media step in and go, hey, actually, maybe we should get to the bottom of this and just accurately show that the vast majority of people playing Dungeons and Dragons aren't deranged Satanists. Maybe the majority of people who like to watch so-called video nasties aren't mentally ill, chainsaw-wielding lunatics. And in the same way, maybe the majority of gamers aren't sexist, racist, misogynist pieces of shit. Not my experience from operating in an online gaming community. Some of them certainly have unhealthy relationships with icons that they look up to or teams that they're fans of. And you will certainly get what are mostly empty death threats, no doubt about it, if you yourself attain a certain degree of notoriety. But again, that isn't representative of the community. It would be very disingenuous. You see people say it all the time, this community's so toxic. It's the worst ever, says everybody who has a negative experience about their game. But the reality is it's the underwhelming minority of people that behave that way. And I don't even buy into all the toxicity bullshit. And I don't think people should lose their games for saying naughty words in games. I think you should maybe have the right to say naughty words taken away from you. But maybe everybody should just grow the fuck up and mute people. And if someone griefs you in a game and it's super frustrating, maybe you just finish that game and forget about it and just get on with your life. That seems to be a better way around it for me. But the mainstream media aren't going to portray you accurately, and they've never portrayed people who use 4chan accurately. They've always tried to imply that it's like some fucking hotbed of like insane, a hotbed of like the worst kinds of porn. And every time a horror story does emanate from it, like when there was that dude who actually did murder that person and he posted fucking murder scene photographs just after he'd killed a woman on it. And that's horrifying, obviously. But then the police find it, and usually the people on 4chan help find the person. And, it's 4chan. It's just an edgy internet forum. It's not a hotbed of fucking white supremacy or, fucking... They're not out there mobilizing in the streets, the 4chaners, trying to round people up and put them in the gulag. Just not real, is it? So again, just really bizarre that this sort of shit's being fucking normalized. Like, here's a suggestion. Why don't we just ban the word K? The letter K. I think we should just get rid of it.
Agreed.
Because ultimately, it's just too problematic, isn't it? You got Keck that it's associated with, the KKK. I mean, they use it 3 times. Is anything good? Special K is street slang for ketamine, which I think's good.
Yeah, it's banging.
Yeah, obviously. But society doesn't think that, Sam. They want to take our ketamine away.
They try it.
So, like, what do we do, We should just probably ban the letter K ultimately.
Ban the letter K, KKK will just be called nothing. We'll have no letters left, mate. We're going to become the LLL. Stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is where people aren't really thinking about this logically. It's like you say, what can the KKK call itself? It would have to be called the Sioux Slux Slan. Well, no one's joining that. It's a stupid name. So we should just. I just think we're at the stage now where the letter K is just too problematic. Now we should just get rid of it. I think. Might set up one of those petitions. Because petitions do change things politically, obviously. So there was that. There's another outrageous story I saw as well. Let me find it. People pretending to be mermaids, Sam.
So.
Just in case you thought furries and those people weren't fucking mentally ill enough. Again, it's just so ridiculous to me. Hang on, I'll find this for you. I saw this. The real life mermaids of Britain, right? I mean, they're not real life mermaids, are they? Why are we?
No, definitely not.
Why are we feeding these people's delusions? Let's have a look. But this is, they did an interview. When I'm in my tail, everything else just floats away.
Including my sanity.
Look at this. Just look at this opening paragraph. Seeky Red, definitely his real name, strips to his underwear and lubes up his thighs with coconut oil. Lying on the pebbled beach, he wriggles delicately into a beautiful pink and white silicone mermaid tail, which perfectly complements his long, silvery hair. Then he lies back triumphant, his transformation from landlubber human to elegant merman complete. He's part of a growing phenomenon of mermaiding, the practice of wearing and often swimming in a mermaid tail. It's big business in America. In 2015, at least 1,000 people were estimated.
That's not big business at all, is it?
Yeah.
Big business.
1,000 people out of America, like big business, guys.
Big business.
Big. It's big business in America. In 2015, at least 1,000 people were estimated to be working as professional mermaids. What does that even do? What? Like
980 of them were working at Disneyland, of course.
Does anyone fucking remember what mermaids actually do? Like, how they just when you say you're working as a professional mermaid, what are you out there singing, luring sailors to their death? Yeah, are you doing that? Because that's what a professional mermaid does. So then The madness is spreading, Sam. Now it's filtering over to the UK. Northampton hosted the first UK's Miss Mermaid competition this July, and growing number of people are signing up to mermaid training camps or learning it as an extreme sport.
Extreme sport. It's only extreme if you go whitewater rafting in that motherfucker, mate. If you're sliding down a river with a mermaid tail on, now we're talking. A mermaid triathlon or some shit, I'm down. Not this boring nonsense.
Look at these fucking mermaid sympathizers in the chat. Richard, that's a siren. Mermaids are totally different. Fucking tell me about them. Come on. You fucking siren rights.
Mermaid sirens that can't sing.
Hashtag siren rights. You fucking degenerate scum that watch my show. Unbelievable, isn't it?
There's another thing called a have-mand.
What's a have-mand?
Which is another kind of mermaid.
What's different about that? What is it, a fish at the top? With legs?
Apparently that's another name. That's a Swedish name, I think, for a merman. A merman.
Oh,
Mermen are mythical male equivalent and a counterpart of mermaids.
Here's the thing. I don't understand, right? Do you remember there was a film called Splash?
Well, apparently though, mate, this guy's no legend either. Like, he foretells, but also provokes disaster. He causes shipwrecks, and he stirs up terrible storms.
Who does?
This merman. So the mer people ain't reasonable. Yeah, mermaids do that as well. Mermaids
I know that. Sirens are just, sirens and mermaids are all kind of in the same area.
Yeah,
they just sanitized up fucking mermaids for kids.
Yeah. No, look, mermaids are nice.
Hans
they don't
Christian
do any of that killing
Andersen's got
stuff.
a lot to answer for, right? But anyway, there was this. Did you 1984, when I was growing up, people were jerking it to mermaids.
So
there was this film Splash. And who was it? Was it Daryl Hannah or someone? Yeah, Daryl Hannah. Do you remember her?
No.
Probably before your time.
Yeah, I think so.
She was considered, hot shit in the day. And it's her and fucking Tom Hanks, mate. Tom Hanks.
Oh wait, I have seen this. Oh, Kill Bill. Yeah, okay. I thought I noticed her from Kill Bill. She's just the other one, the snake woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, she was in this 1984 romantic comedy called Splash. With Tom Hanks.
John Candy, mate.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's lost it all.
Sadly dead.
He's done it all.
You're gonna go the same way.
Oh well, mate. As long as I go out with the same amount of drugs and money, I'm happy.
Yeah, I just knock the beak on the head till your heart gets back to a normal size. Yeah, that's what I.
Till it shrinks.
But yeah, so but this is something else, mate. This is something else. And then just look at this, you see this, and then you just realise the problems they've got. A recent MA graduate from Kent called Lauren has been mermaiding for 4 years. Right? My family always called me. See, it always starts. My family always called me the Little Mermaid because I've always been obsessed with the water and the sea. Once I found out you could buy a tail, it just progressed from there. For years, Lauren suffered from severe anxiety, depression, and panic attacks, often feeling unable to leave the house. She says mermaiding was a huge turning point for her. When you're weightless below the water, you just flow. You become part of the water. Suddenly, all the anxieties you have, they just go. Not if you're scared of drowning. Not if you're like me and you fucking are terrified of fucking drowning. You become this different version of yourself. It's this form of escapism. As soon as I'm in my tail, everything just floats away. It's now completely taken over from my therapy.
Sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Sounds reasonable.
Sounds like you might need a bit more.
I'm going to stop all that therapy shit. I'm just going to be a mermaid. I'll be sound.
Just imagine telling your therapist that, by the way.
Just swim it off.
Yeah, you're just I'm so... This cognitive behavioural therapy sounds good and all that, Doc, but I think I've come up with my own way to fix it. What's that then? Medication, counselling. No, I'm gonna dress up as a mermaid and start swimming around. All right, well,
I'm gonna have to bring you in.
Yeah,
legally.
Yeah,
for your own protection, alright?
Are you familiar with the term being sectioned? It's too much.
Just gonna put you in this soft room here.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Swim about all you want.
Yeah, completely ridiculous. So we're going to wrap up in 10 minutes. So I've got a few of the little quick hits and then we can get the fuck out of here. I was going to talk about Ellen Powell because that bitch just won't fucking die. She's back, like, talking about how we need to censor the internet and stuff. And it's like, why does anyone take her seriously? She ran a fucking fake sexual discrimination case for a company that had been nothing but good to her. Everything that came out in that court case was just a fucking embarrassment to her. I don't know. Here's one for you, Sam, right? A teenager, because we already talked about ransomware and nudes and stuff. A teenager sends a dick pic to a 22-year-old woman, and he has now been ruled that he is a child pornographer.
So, of his own knob.
Yeah, because he's fucking
taking pictures of kids' knobs. Yeah, but it was
my knob.
Still a kid's knob. Jail forever. Life.
How mad is that? This is the Washington Supreme Court. A 17-year-old boy sent a picture of his own erect penis to a 22-year-old woman. And because of the way the law is ambiguous, they've ruled that by taking, hosting, and sending images of his own body, he has peddled child porn.
So.
And they've upheld his conviction. This is the appellant's court. This is the they've appealed the initial conviction, and they've gone, yeah, well, the way the law's written, it is a kid's knob. It's his knob. I'm not saying he should be out there sending random fucking dick pics to people, but come the fuck on, mate. You know what I mean? Like, if you take a picture of yourself, you can't be pornographizing.
Pornographizing. But Your Honour, weren't even pornographizing nothings.
I'm using that next time we play Scrabble, Sam. Pornographizing. You're not fucking... It's not. It's just a photo of you, isn't it? It's not something sinister like, hey, I will hoard all the nudes. It's yours.
Who's even taking her into prison then? I don't get what's happened. Was there like an unsolicited dick pic or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's a separate issue. But the problem is he could face up to 10 years in prison because it falls under child porn laws.
Come on.
I think just on top of it, he's got Asperger's.
Yeah, let's put him in prison then, shall we? Yeah, let's put him in prison for 10 years. Seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, send him straight to the American prison system, known for reforming people. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. What if you jerk off?
You want to get off a child?
You're touching a kid's knob, your knob. But it's the whole. I can't believe that's fucking held up, mate. It just seems so crazy to me. It's just mental. That was a fucking wild one, that one. Hang on, and then I'm looking for the banger, mate. There was an absolute banger. I got to get it before we go. Oh, there was this fucking story. Well, just while we're talking about knobs. Here we go. Did you see the fucking guy who got his dick stuck in a weight at the gym?
No.
What a fucking boy, right?
Sticking his knob in a weight.
I don't know. Why would you do it though? Why would you do it?
Why you fucking wait?
Yeah, he took it serious. So yeah, this is from the Sacramento.
Oh wait, I just saw this picture actually. I must not.
Yeah, what? You didn't know the relevance?
No, I don't think so.
The old karate chop. So, yeah, this is over in Germany. Some German guy.
I must improve my dick muscle. I was more fucking Netherlands. That was my old school German. I've asked him, Prof.
What have you done that for? So, yeah, he had the old 2.6 kilogram, and for some reason he decided to stick his dick in it, and then it, like, got engorged and he couldn't get it back out.
What, so he got erect while he was fucking awake and he couldn't remove it?
Can't fuck with a soft dick.
What am I going to be stabbing it with?
Be like chucking a chip up the fucking high street. What's the point in that? So, no, here's the thing. People are going, wow, he broke the weight. No. Guys, come on, mate. He's not Conan the fucking barbarian, is he? Nah,
the barbarian smashing weights with his knob.
It got stuck, so they had to get a grinder and a hydraulic cutter and break.
Imagine how scared you are for the entirety of that disc cutter around your knob. Please don't slip, but please don't slip.
That's mental, innit, mate? Like, so yeah, they had to like grind it, like, and then when it was thin, they go in with these massive hydraulic cutters, like, fucking cut through it. He's like, oh god, this is so scary. Why did you do the voice?
I'm asking for my dick muscles.
Mate, what is that voice?
That's a good German accent.
It does not.
Yeah, it is. Just a high-pitched German accent.
It doesn't sound like a German at all, mate.
It's pretty German. All. I bet if you ask 10 people what accent is that, a good 8 of them would say German.
All right. So, right, here you go, another couple of blinders, and then we'll get out of here, right, and take a break before we do buy the numbers. So, this guy got wrecked on fucking Amazon. This is so retarded. So, he goes on to Amazon, this guy, Sam Purdy, and he buys some slippers. Because, you know, we all like slippers, right? I don't give a fuck. I love them backless slippers, you know.
Yeah.
Get the daps on. All good. Anyway, so we got these pair of £15 slippers off Amazon. And then when he looked at the soles, apparently, I can't even believe it, swastikas everywhere. Just swastikas on the bottom of his slippers. Have a look. You just look at that and you tell me, is he just imagining things, or is that?
I think he's imagining things, like.
I don't know, mate. When you have a zoom in picture underneath that, right? Is he?
I mean, there is the shape of a swastika in there, but that isn't the primary design of the soul. Is it?
If you go right down, they even put a big red circle around.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Is he just upset for no reason?
I think so.
Obvious, right? So I'll just read you some of the quotes here. He's 81, obviously, you know. He's got time on his hands. Mr. Purdy said the navy slippers look perfectly respectable. These slippers look respectable. Then I found out they were Nazi slippers, right? These slippers look perfectly respectable online, but he was very shocked when they arrived on his doorstep. He said, I ordered a pair of slippers, which on first examination looked good, but when they arrived, I realized they had swastikas all over the soles. You could absolutely notice the pattern right away. Here's the thing, I don't know if I would have seen that.
No, I don't think I would have either.
I'm a regular customer with Amazon, and they usually ask you to give them a review of their products. So I did. I wrote that I was not happy with my swastika embroidered slippers and that I certainly won't be wearing them. But Mr. Purdy claims Amazon immediately responded saying he had been abusive in his review, and if it continued, he wouldn't be allowed to leave reviews again. Right? The angry penguin said he's still not happy. I'm a customer, right? And Amazon should not be dealing with me as if I am a stranger. I am old enough to have very unpleasant memories of swastikas. I mean, just, yeah. We all are in a way.
I love the pictures they take for shit news stories. Really.
I know.
Look at him just sitting there with his slippers, staring with his bald eye. Boy.
No one's even going to see the soles.
Even the quote above the video just says, I'm angry. Pensioners fury. I'm angry.
Yeah. Can you just sit next to your computer and look angry for a minute, mate? Yep, got you. If they sent a photographer out for this. Anyway, but look at this. He goes, the slippers should be taken off the market. I haven't asked for a rebate, but they will never be going on my feet. A spokeswoman for the Burnley-based suppliers LJ&R Footwear said, "This is the first time anyone's ever brought this up. This outsole is widely available in China and wasn't developed by us. Any resemblance to the sign in question is purely coincidental. It is a honeycomb maze pattern." That's what it's called, honeycomb maze. That'll be the next thing. Secret Nazis with their fucking honeycomb. Right, and I'm finding the banger. We're going to end on a Nazi story as well. Oh, no. Actually, I've got to tell you about this. Because this is we can have a debate about this one, Sam. Right? This was pretty mental, this story. In the Daily Mail again, you know, everyone's favourite outrage paper. Love it. So an elementary school suspended a 5-year-old boy, right? Because he came into school and a teacher said, "Take your rucksack off." And he said, "I can't, it's got a bomb in it."
Sound.
Now, they immediately suspended him because they said he'd engaged in terroristic threats. Right? And his parents said, no, he didn't mean he had a bad bomb that he was going to kill people with. He was saying he was the hero that had picked up a bomb to save everybody from getting blown up. I don't know. I think if a 5-year-old kid said, "I have a bomb in my bag," I might be like, yeah, that's not really appropriate, is it? Have a look at him. He doesn't look evil.
Did you just see the guy, didn't he?
He doesn't look evil, though, does he? He looks all right, mate. He doesn't look like he's an ISIS. What are you doing that for? Bring up the kid with the bomb.
Yeah, well, I was fixing the donations. They were off-sent. That was annoying me.
All right, son. All right.
Show the non-evil child.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like he'd bomb something, to be fair.
Yeah, he looks all right, like. Do you know what I mean? Just saying. He hasn't got that look about him, has he?
Mate, what kind of shady kid would it have to be if you bomb a school? How shady's this kid gonna look?
That one from the Babadook might have.
Oh, yeah, the kid with fucking... What's the kid got, like, piercings, a couple of tattoos? Yeah, that's the one.
But yeah, look. Here's the thing. I don't even know. Does it say how long he was suspended for? Was it just a day or something? Here's the thing as well. The teacher, brave as fuck, had a look in the bag. It says there, after the teacher looked inside and found no bomb, they suspended the... What do you do if the kid's right? What are you going to do? Fucking high school teacher. What are you going to do? You're not Keanu Reeves in fucking Speed, are you? You know what I mean? That's another great reference. But... so the parents are like, oh, he's playing out. I'm all for letting kids play. I just think in the age we live in, I don't know if you can talk about bombs like anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's right on this. I'd be a little bit concerned if a kid said, I got, even 5-year-old, there's a bomb in my bag. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not fucking ill. But why are you talking about bombs? You're 5. Why are you talking about bombs in your bag? Haven't you seen the news? Don't you know there's terrorists now?
Yeah, but at the same time, how old is the kid again?
Yeah, he's 5, like.
Yeah, come on. He's probably just heard the word bomb on the news. He's like, oh, I want to save people from the bomb.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We need to do an intelligence measurement test on the kid. And
see if he could have made a bomb if he wanted to.
Yeah, if he's a stupid kid, then it's all fine. But if he's one of these hyper-intelligent kids who probably could have made a bomb...
You better hope you got low IQ, boy.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to get you tested, son.
And if you ain't thick as fuck, you're going to jail.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we roll in. It's the only way. It's the only safe way now. And then finally, since we're just doing all hits off the Daily Mail, I do love to have a good laugh at the Daily Mail. This is just fucking outrageous, though. This is just, what are you thinking, right? This is over in Sydney, in Australia. And they fucked with their teacher, right? So this is just so unreasonable. They said to their teacher, "Oh, we're taking a class picture, right? We're taking a class photo of all of us. Please be in it because we love you, deputy head." Right? So the deputy head went, "Oh, thank you very much, kids. I suppose we should all take pictures of each other." And as they take the picture, the guys at the front drop down a Nazi banner and they all do the Nazi salute. And the teachers stood there like, what? That's so outrageous, isn't it? That's just outrageous.
Mental as fuck.
What have they done that for?
That is pure mental.
And, like, do you not think there might be some consequences to this, guys? Like,
I'm sure nobody bring this up after it happens.
We'll all be laughing about that in a week or two. Nah, you won't.
They're never getting a job.
Look at this. In what would become known as a foolish prank, the boys at the $30,000 a year school on the North Shore unfurled the Nazi flag after convincing Deputy Principal Mr. Rod Morrison to take an end-of-year photo with them. After realising what had happened, Mr. Morrison proceeded to tell the boys it was completely inappropriate, took the flag off the students responsible. He then approached the students at lunchtime to ensure they had deleted the photo, which is a bit mad. He's trying to cover it up, Obviously, I suppose all the kids could just wreck him there, just turn around and say, yeah, he's in our special gang. And then one of the kids had kept it and it got out. So, but it is the thing, like, they're taking the students to a Jewish museum, which obviously has a section on the Holocaust in it, in Sydney. That's all they're getting. That's all the punishment they're getting. So they got let off.
Would have done that in Berkeley, mate. Would have been right.
Nowhere. Here's the thing, though. I think what'll happen is, I don't think it'll end there.
They won't. Yeah, that's what I mean. They won't be able to get jobs. Everything they try to do, everyone will attach them to that.
Yeah. I mean, this, like,
the punishment is in the crime. I
don't understand how fucking dumb you have to be to think I will just take a photo of me with a Nazi flag, with a Nazi salute. No one will ever suspect I'm a Nazi.
I'll just tell everyone it's a joke. I'm sure everyone will understand.
Like, well, how fucking thick are you? Like, you dumb cunts. Like, what are you doing? So stupid. You're like, literally fucked your whole life up for that. Because there's no way that'll go away, ever. Not on the internet. Not now. And then, just finally at the end of the show, because loads of people were spamming me on Twitter about it and that. Right. A few people approached me and they were like, "Oh, bloody hell, Richard, you love that Donald Trump. You do, don't you? You know what I mean?" And obviously I don't love Donald Trump. Do. I just love unbiased media reporting. That's what I love. I love free speech and unbiased media reporting and honouring contracts. Very simple, basic principles. These are the things that motivate me to get out of bed. And I think we've criticised Donald Trump a bunch lately on the show. I mean, going all the way back to the shit in Charlottesville, before it with the transgendered ban, the travel ban. We've been fairly critical of some of the policies that he's brought in lately. But this NFL thing is just fucking retarded. I'm just going to... Mate.
It's so crazy.
So here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. You're Donald Trump. You're the president of the United States. There's shit going on in the world right now, right? And domestically, we've got all sorts of problems. It's divisive, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm going to do today as president of the United States. I'm going to come out and attack athletes in the NBA, in the NFL, for no reason. Like, who does this benefit? Who does this benefit? And keep in mind as well, right? there were only a handful of players that would take the knee at national anthems in the NFL. Now it's all of them. Now it's whole teams. And look, I'm not saying the people who think it's disrespectful don't have a point. What I'm saying is that flag gives you the right to fucking not kneel in front of it.
That's what I don't get.
That's
the whole argument
point.
is like, they fought for your freedom. Yeah, and part of that freedom is being able to do what you want. That's why it's called freedom. Like,
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, we're so free here. Now everyone stand up and sing the flag song.
Or you will be removed from your employment.
Oh. And this is what I mean. Like, it's so fucking unbelievably stupid to me that the right wing, all these conservative commentators have all positioned themselves as being like free speech absolutists and free speech advocates and saying, look, listen, we believe that all these people who are marching here, there, and everywhere should be allowed to say these, vile and reprehensible things. As long as they're only saying things, it's absolutely fine. And that's been their stance. While the left is the one saying words are violent, but our violence isn't violent, right? So I get all that. But then the conservatives make themselves look like a bunch of fucking retarded hypocrites by saying, you don't want to stand up and sing the flag song with everyone else, then you are scum. How dare you? Now, there's a separate discussion about whether or not the NFL is being consistent, because obviously they've said they don't want any political speech in the NFL. We got the same rules in the Premier League. In the UK, every time someone lifts up and a T-shirt has a message on it, if it's even slightly political, like when Robbie Fowler supported the dockers strike or whatever like that, you're going to get a massive fine, potentially suspended from playing. And they've done this in the past. Like someone had in the NFL that someone had like a breast cancer awareness bracelet or something. They got fined, I think, over that. Somebody had like some special boots made, which was like a tribute to the Twin Towers, and they were still there, and it was like never forget. They got punished for that. So there's a separate discussion to be had about why this type of political discourse is okay and those aren't. And I personally would be like, look, I believe in freedom of expression. I believe in the First Amendment. I think people should be allowed to express themselves through, whatever means they feel they need to do, provided it doesn't violate the tenets protected in the First Amendment. So the idea that for some fucking reason, it's a big deal that people are taking the knee. It is just unbelievably stupid to me. I don't think you're disrespecting the military. And if you feel that they are, remember that the military goes to fight and die to preserve freedoms. They don't do it to get seats on planes. They don't do it to have everybody behave a certain way. That's not what it's about. And if you think it is, then you're mistaken. The whole point of not being invaded and took over by totalitarian, authoritarian forces is that you preserve the inherent rights and freedoms of an individual, and that includes taking the knee. If you don't feel you can fucking salute a flag with a clean conscience, there should be absolutely nothing that compels you to do so. And I thought this whole ridiculous instance was... Like, again, it's just driven more division. Now what you've got is you've got players who took the knee. You've got people coming out saying they felt ashamed. Then you've got people who didn't take the knee, saying they felt bad for letting their team down. This is just not what we need right now, This is just creating more divides and more. And I've got to say this as well, Sam. It's probably worth mentioning. It is almost an exclusively black issue. Or it was.
Yeah.
Because the original reason to take the knee was over police brutality towards black people. Now, you might not support the central premise of that gesture, that black people are more likely to be killed by police. You might not believe that. That's another debate about how statistics are interpreted. But certainly, again, I respect the right of any black person to raise the fucking issue and talk about it. And try and draw awareness to a perceived injustice. Obviously, I do. But like now, it's gone from being a sort of a sign of solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement to basically being something else. Now it's complete disdain for the government and the current direction of the government. And everybody's now coming out in the NBA and the NFL and saying these things. And it's just made things worse. Again, do you remember when Donald Trump said at his inauguration, and he said, like, we've got to come together and we've got to heal these wounds and remember that we're all Americans? Well, you don't continue that by literally saying to your elite level athletes in the country, you're all idiots if you don't stand up and salute the flag. Yeah, it's completely.
So, I mean, you can't defend neo-Nazis' rights to do what they want because it's a free country, and then say you should be fired for being on one knee. I mean, this is painting a good picture, isn't it, mate? So, I wanted to clear that up. It's not, for me, it's not even a complex debate. I've seen people trying to discuss the issue. It's not there's no discussion to be had. If you compel somebody to do something they don't want to do, you're violating their rights to freedom of expression. If you compel somebody to put out a political message, a political sentiment that they don't want to do, that's awfully close to authoritarianism. I don't support that, whichever side it comes from, the left or the right, and I never will. So, completely ridiculous. But anyway, we need to start getting ready for By the Numbers, so I guess we end the show there. Thanks to everybody who tuned in for the Richard Lewis Show. Thanks to all the people who are watching it on YouTube, all the people who subbed and donated and had a laugh with us. Really appreciate it. We'll be taking a short break. I'm going to quickly grab a bite to eat, and then we're going to come back and go straight into By the Numbers with Duncan Thorne Shields, where we're going to break down all of the Counter-Strike madness that's been going on over the past few days. Appreciate it. And, of course, don't watch, don't breathe. In fact, that's what the fucking film should be called. Don't watch. It's fucking shit. I'll see you in about 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to play some music, and then we'll get into it. You take care of yourselves.